So just a quick one here with the LiveFan S1. Just wanted to give you an update. I'll first show you here the memory usage. So memory use is quite good because, wow, we've got plenty there. With 8 gigabytes, you don't normally see that on the Core M's. You only normally see 4, like the Surface Pro M3 model they had with only 4. So it's good to see they have used that. Now RAM speeds, yes, they are correct. That's 1600 megahertz, which is the fastest that the Core M3 5-way 10 can do. And onto benchmarks. So these are the ones I have run here. So this is PC Mark 7, 4,429. iStorm Extreme, only 24,000. And I'll explain why in just a second, why that is low. CloudGate, there's the score, and Geekbench 3. So this is all I have run so far. Now, why those benchmarks are low is because of the temperatures. So it's been hitting 93 degrees. Now, when it was idling and just surfing the internet or just watching a movie or something like that, it's good. The averages are around about, well, there we go. You can see 47. They stay about under 50. But as soon as you start to push it hard, run a benchmark, start gaming, use the GPU quite a bit, then it just quickly skyrockets up to 70, 80, and before you know it, it hits 93, and it does trigger right here thermal throttling, which is not ever good to see. But that's keeping it from cooking itself, basically. And I have seen a lot of thermal throttling on Atoms and other devices. That's very common. So obviously the heatsink design that they do have isn't sufficient enough for it, unlike the Mi Notebook Air. Now that only gets up to about 62 or 3 degrees, I think it is, but that also has some thermal heat transfer copper pipes in there, and a lot of copper. It's quite a good setup. The thermals, the heatsink arrangement they do have, and if I do open this one up, I will check it out definitely and see, but it does get hot. So you can see there that the performance, if you're going to be pushing this hard, you're going to be having lots of tabs open and things, you're probably not going to run into thermal throttling. It's only really if you plan to game on this. And speaking of gaming, I will have another video coming up to test out the gaming performance before I release my full review. One more thing I wanted to show you was SSD speeds. I did retest that again after running trim. And I already did show these on the unboxing, but here you can see speeds haven't really changed much. Now, you could say the write speeds are maybe a little bit low for a SATA 3 drive, that we should be around 500 there as well, but that's only because this is 128 gigabyte M2 SSD. If it was the 256 version or the 512, then that figure there would probably be 500 as well, sequential writes. 4Ks are good for SATA 3 drive, that's good, so no problems there. And just using it in general has been fine. It's been snappy and quick, apart from those thermals there once it starts to heat up. So the Intel graphics control panel here, this is just the default settings it comes up with. There is display refresh rate switching. Enabling that could save even more battery life, which I will cover in just a second, but that is disabled at the moment. So I haven't changed any settings here. When it's plugged in and when I was doing the benchmarks, it's on maximum performance. That was actually the default setting, that one there. So, but I normally change that anyway, just to get the maximum figures. So battery life, last night I ran Chrome for a little while, for about 20 minutes, and then watched an episode of Mr. Robot, which was about 48 minutes, and I got 1 hour, just about 1 hour's use. I lost, actually I have a screenshot of it here, show you that, it would be a lot easier. So there we go, so well, elapsed time of 1 hour, and there I lost 16% battery life, which I thought was okay, because that was Chrome and some video there. Brightness setting was 25%, so the battery life is actually stacking up to be a lot better than I had imagined it would be, and possibly it's going to actually be better than the Mi Notebook Air, the Core M3 version. Now, if you're gonna watch videos, just videos, I think you're going to get the time remaining by the time it's saying their full run time. I don't know about that, but just videos, I think about 9 hours with the lower brightness setting. And if you're going to be web browsing, multi-tabs here, like in Chrome, like I have at the moment, then I would say you're looking towards 6 to 7 hours, which is all right. So it's almost, I mean, ideally, I would like a figure of about 8 hours of that kind of use, that you can get a full day's use out of it. So battery life, yes, is one of the positives. with that negative of the thermals there. Now the keyboard, I have been using that obviously quite a bit, typing and whatnot. I'm finding it's good to type on. Now the touchpad, I would ideally like this have been more of a glass, smoother surface. It's a little bit rough. Well, it's not rough, it's just a textured plastic, but it is accurate and it works fine. It's usable. Now, me being a little picky here, I wasn't really that happy with the way the mouse buttons left and right, they sink right down. The depth of them, I feel, is a little bit, they should be a little bit more shallow. They shouldn't be so deep the way they go down there. And the other thing I noticed a little bit is the arrow keys. They don't feel as good as the rest of the keyboard for some reason. You'll notice that it's not sitting 100% flat, this arrow key. So tiny little build, but it works fine. I don't have any problems with that. It's just tiny little things. That's me being extra picky about this. Now, I mentioned in the unboxing that this top here is plastic, the palm rest, and the rest of it though, the rest of it is made out of alloy, which is good to see. So I will be back later on with a full review of this, and I will be releasing a gaming video just to check out gaming performance, but I imagine gaming performance won't be as good as other models because of that thermal throttling there. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you back with the gaming video and the full review later on. Bye for now.